is a small studio that my husband and a dear friend of ours built for me. It's actually a very nice studio. It's not large, but it's well built. It's well insulated. It has a beautiful fan on the ceiling. Track lighting. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet little place. And we haven't been coming up here often. I probably haven't been in this studio for 2 years. So I just got done vacuuming all the dead bugs up off the floor. After 2 years, it wasn't as bad as you might have imagined. And I'm going to try a little cold wax today. I have no microphone, no tripod, nothing. I'm just going to show you what I can. And it's nice to bring you up to my little mountain retreat with me. It's a lovely, lovely place. And I hope to spend more time up here in the near future. I've decided to do a little cold wax today. So I brought my stuff up, kind of an abbreviated version of my stuff. And for a palette, I've just got these clear, kind of heavy sheets of plastic. But the view, oh my goodness. I remember one day working in here and there was a deer outside the door just watching me work. It was incredible. I'm going to start off with some Arches oil paper. This is a great traveling substrate to bring. And I'll tape this to a piece of newsprint so that I don't run over the edge and get paint all over my table. I'll show you. To hinge a piece of paper onto a piece of newsprint, you just want to turn the paper to the back side. And with this Arches paper, it doesn't really matter. One side does have a bit more texture, but I'm not worried about that because the cold wax will be a lot of texture. Then you tape. You want to tape 50% of the tape on the paper, leaving 50% just dangling like this. Now, what we're going to do, and this is always the confusing part for me and everyone else. You simply turn the paper over. So now I have sticky side up on the tape. And I'm going to put another piece of tape on this, which will come to the edge of the paper, but it will not go over the edge of the paper. And it will tape it to the newsprint. That way, I don't get paint all over my table. And since I don't have a tripod, I'm just going to do it, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so you see what I've done. I've taken a piece of tape, and I've put it over the top of the sticky side of the first tape. It taped it to the newsprint, but not to the oil paper. So I will do that with the rest of the 3 sides. This is still the sticky side that's on the back of the paper, and I'm going to put my next piece of tape over this, and I'm going to do that for all 4 sides. Okay, we're all secure. See? It's taped securely to the newsprint, and I can start painting. I'm going to divide my cold wax paper, my Arches oil paper, in 2 by dividing it with a piece of tape. And now I've got 2 kind of elongated substrates to work on. I love dividing the paper with tape because when you take the tape off, the paintings look so much better. And I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time on the paper, maybe about a half an hour, just to get myself warmed up. Then I found a ton of pieces of plywood, and I'm going to use that for painting today. I've chosen Prussian blue and I've mixed it 50% cold wax medium, which as you can see is almost, I'd say, the consistency of Crisco, and it's made of beeswax, polymers, resins, very low odor, and oil paint. And then I used my Mesemeister scraper and I scraped it on fairly thick. You want a pretty good layer because you're going to want to put some texture in. So let's see what we got. Let's use this as a texture maker. Let's see. This is just the first layer, so you can be experimental at this point. Wow, you know, it's kind of celestial. It's reminding me of stars. And that's how you get started. Being up at the cabin is almost like a memory project for me. Especially, like I said, we have not been up here for a year and a half. I haven't been in my studio for at least 2 years. So I have a lot of memories in here. We bought this property in 2003, right after we graduated from John F. Kennedy with our MFA degrees. And we built a small cabin, and I'll show you the cabin later. It took years, and it's 2025 now, and honestly, it's not done. It's certainly nice. It's cute. And we built this cabin, I'm going to tell you, one window at a time. We would save the money to buy a window. We'd go to Home Depot. We had a charge card. It got us into some trouble. And we'd put a window in the back of the truck and drive it up. And I would wonder, what will this window see? What will the experience of this window be? What animals will walk by? And what happened in these past years is we have survived 2 devastating wildfires. One was the Moonlight Fire, which was 67,000 acres, which started really right across the street from here. And it moved up around us. We have 11.5 acres. It took out half of our timber. The house was saved. We lost a garage structure with a bunch of tools. And 3 or 4 years later, we suffered the Dixie Fire, which I think was 3 years ago. And that was very close to 1 million acres. And we lost our whole town. It's the town of Greenville. Our house survived. My studio survived. So we had a friend who helped us build this place, taught us all about the forest. We knew nothing when we came up here the first time. It was almost laughable. And we met a man who helped us build our place. And my husband spent many, many years working with him. And it's funny, we didn't know about construction either. My husband bought the Homer for Home Depot, the Homer's 1, 2, 3 book on construction, and we figured it out. And I used to help him build also. And then he met Wayne, and kind of Wayne and him became the building team, and I got bored. So they built me my art studio. So you can imagine the richness of my memories up here. Well, I got interrupted yesterday. We had a lot of breaks in our water system under the house, and it's been 2 years since we've been able to get it fixed. So we came up here for 4 days, absolutely determined that we were going to fix this system. And it took 3 days and many shark bites, if you know what those are. They're connectors for pipes. This cabin we built, and I told you we used the Homer 1, 2, 3 book, and you know, a lot of it is probably not as good as it could be. We pieced it all together, and we eventually did bring water up into the house. And my daughter and her wife and son came up a couple of years ago and didn't blow out the pipes in winter the way we had instructed them to. And it created a lot of breaks under the house. So after years of contemplation, because my husband and I avoided coming up, mostly him because he's the one climbing under the house to fix it, finally decided it was time to fix the plumbing, and we really didn't know it was going to be as horrible as it was. Anyway, we have running water this morning, and we're really happy. We'd like to make it a habit of getting up here more often. There's a lot of deferred maintenance over the past couple of years when we haven't been here. And we really need to spend some time this summer getting it together, and then we want to close it up during the winter and not let anybody come and visit, because we can't trust them closing it down the way it should be closed down. Anyway, I'm in the studio this morning, and I did have a little chance to finish my paper piece yesterday. Okay, that's what I managed to do yesterday on the paper. Like I said, probably a half an hour. It's not a fabulous piece, but it's a warm-up. And I'm going to take yesterday's warm-up and jump into this panel today, which I found hanging in the house. And this is a cold wax piece that has a lot of great texture underneath. It's never been finished, and I'm going to work into this today. So let's see where it takes us. Well, I didn't get very far. I'll tell you what happened. I went in to make lunch and discovered a leak in the sink. Well, my weekend of working in the mountains in the art studio really was interrupted both times I came in here, and I got very little done. I was having a really good time too, and it just didn't work out. So anyway, we got to get ready, and it's 4.5 hours drive up here from our home. So I've got to get ready and shut the place down and shut the studio down, and we'll be up in a couple more weeks. So maybe we can continue this video at that time. Okay, I'm sure I'm feeling a little down. Okay, it's not all bad. It's going to be an easier leak. It's not with the pipes. It's the drain. So what happened, since we weren't up here for 2 years, I think the gasket dried out. The lesson we learned is don't stay away for 2 years. It's not a good policy. Things just need you. Our place needs us. And we need to be here and maintain it and care for it and love it. And we were bad. Okay. So go to your studio. Painting is a practice. Practice makes perfect. Go to your cabin. Cabin is a lot of work, and it's not worth it to neglect it. Okay? See you later. Bye.